Hi, my name is Richard Hawkins. I'm a professor of economics here in the Department of Commerce at the University of West Florida College of Business. And I'm here with Executive Director Nicole Gislason, who is in charge of our Haas Center here at UWF. And I think of the Haas Center as having a lot of functions. Maybe we could start by talking about some of the things that the center does, or as many things as you want to talk about, and then we'll talk about how economists fit into that.
Certainly. Thank you, Dr. Hawkins. It's so nice to be here with you. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Haas Center, we've been actively engaging with policy leaders for the last 30 years. More recently, we have added an industrial innovation arm in the last 6 years since I arrived. And that includes design for additive manufacturing as well as 3D printing. And that gives us an opportunity to engage directly with businesses and budding
on the firm
entrepreneurs.
side, right?
Right, yeah. And so they quite literally bring us a problem designed on a napkin, and we can prototype that.
Well, sliding over to economics, let's talk about some of the data that the Haas Center sort of stores for us here in Northwest Florida, but also then how we use that data to address interesting questions.
So when you visit our website, haas.uwf.edu, you will find, among other things, tourism indicators under Explore the Economy, and that includes some of my favorite data that we offer to the public to use. Enplanements, passenger traffic at our airport, which continues to excel here in Pensacola, and we compare that to two other regional airports, Valparaiso over in Fort Walton Beach, and then Beaches International, which is in Panama City Beach. And most of their traffic is tourism related.
Right.
However, in Pensacola, we enjoy a balance between business travel and tourism. Now, that business travel also includes the military, but it's a more diverse client pool for our airport. Then looking at some other data sets, we subscribe to Metro Market Trends, a local company that dives into the real estate market here, and they allow us to put that out on our website. Plus, we track employment and population, things like that we can download from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Census Bureau.
And in terms of feeding a dashboard, is that something that a student assistant helps with at the Haas Center?
Most certainly. In fact, one of your MBA students here at the College of Business does a remarkable job in updating that information. There are 126 data visualizations on that site, and they're updated annually. Not all at the same time, but he manages that and monitors it.
Okay, all right. What about the future of the Haas Center? I know there's the NEAT studies. We mentioned the Pockets of Poverty study, and there's some other opportunities that are coming. And where do you see students helping in 2026 and beyond?
So a lot of our work revolves around survey research. So we will poll voters on a variety of issues for municipalities and counties alike. We also use polling to shed light on various workforce issues. For instance, at my fingertips, we have a military talent study, and we surveyed a panel of military veterans, active duty, and their spouses, and learned a lot about their likes and dislikes as to why they chose Northwest Florida as the place to land in their retirement or their next career after the military. So that complemented another survey that CareerSource Okaloosa Walton hosted for 10 years. And so we built on their success and distributed another survey that will now replace that one. And so they were thought leaders in getting that off the ground.
Well, and I think that's important because we've all taken surveys and we know what they look like from a user standpoint, but a student assistant's behind the scenes looking at the data, calculating the averages, calculating whether there's a lot of spread or whether, and then also, crosstabs, particular spouse attributes or things that the spouse has said as opposed to the active military, as opposed to the retirees.
Right. And from this particular study, we also pinpointed language skills that exist among our military service members. So we were able to crosstab on that as well as their education. So, for instance, almost 60% have a bachelor's degree or higher. In this this group of panelists that we surveyed for.
Right.
For the military study. And so we'll do this survey every year for 3 years and update this data set as appropriate.
Right. So that's, again, important work for students, econ students and other students with the right quantitative skills, right, to be able to take that 59% and measure it going forward. Thank you for coming and telling us about this and giving us some ideas of things that student assistants can work on next year and beyond.
Certainly. My pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Hawkins.